Greetings, viewers. This is ERi-TV News broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara. It's 10:30 p.m. Thursday, 27th of January. I'm the reporter Mira Mehonis with your daily updates. Here's a rundown of the top stories for tonight's English news segment. UN delegation held meeting with senior government officials. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. IMF cuts global economic growth forecast. Dozens feared loss as smuggling boat capsizes off Florida. And now we proceed to the details for the local news. The regional directors and other senior United Nations officials in Africa that are on 5 days working visit in Eritrea met and held talks with ministers and senior Eritrean government officials. The objective of the meeting was to identify priorities and strengthen mutual cooperation and partnership in accordance with the 5-year Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework launched between the Eritrean government and UN agencies, launched on the 25th of January in Asmara. At the meeting, the delegation conducted with Mr. Hagos Gabrahewat, head of economic affairs of the PFDJ, they were provided extensive briefing on the basic principles of the economic policy of the Eritrean government, including on social justice, trade and investment, international cooperation, as well as comparative advantage of Eritrea, including the peace and stability, as well as a strategic geographical location of the country. The delegation also met and held talks with Ms. Fawzia Hashim, Minister of Justice, Mr. Arafine Berhe, Minister of Agriculture, and Mr. Tesfai Zakaras, Director General of Energy, focusing on sectoral development policies and programs. The UN delegation on the 26th of January also visited developmental sites and projects in the southern region aimed at creating common understanding of the developmental priorities of the Eritrean government. The 25-member delegation visited the National Fistula Treatment Center at Mandafara Referral Hospital, Hal Agricultural Research Institute, Hal Agricultural Project, Azib Milk and Milk Products Private Enterprise, Areza and Maidema Solar System Projects, Logo and Misilam Dams, as well as other developmental projects in the southern region. Speaking to Arena, the participants said that with the visit they conducted, they have been able to observe and appreciate the Eritrean government has registered in the development programs and especially in the sectors of health and agriculture. The participants further expressed that the progress they observed on the ground will have significant input in the advancement of the 5 years development and cooperation framework launched between Eritrea and the UN agencies. They also expressed appreciation for the readiness of the government of Eritrea to work with the United Nations agencies. It is to be recalled that the government of Eritrea and UN agencies, at a ceremony held in Asmara on the 25th of January, launched a 5 years Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework on the sectors of infrastructure, agriculture, energy, industry, health, education, as well as capacity building. We have an announcement from the Ministry of Health. 28 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at testing stations in the Central, Ansaba and Gashbarka regions. Out of these, 21 patients are from testing stations in Asmara, Central region. 6 patients are from testing stations in Karen 5 and Atekelezan 1, Ansaba region. The last patient is from a testing station in Barantu, Gashbarka region. On the other hand, 91 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Central Region 58, Southern Region 15, Ansaba Region 10, Southern Red Sea Region 5, and Gashbarka Region 3 have fully recovered and have been discharged from these facilities. Sadly, a 75-year-old patient in the Central Region has passed away due to the pandemic. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 9,004, while the number of deaths has risen to 97. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 9,436. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 27 January 2022. Elections of area administrators and managing directors, as well as village coordinators, has been conducted in the 24 administrative areas in Sanaa subzone. Mr. Idris Ali Shikar, administrator of the subzone, indicated that at the elections that were conducted from January 11 to the 19th, 23 area administrators, including 3 females, were elected as area administrators, 23, including 7 females, as managing directors, as well as 197 village coordinators, pointing out that the election will have significant input in the effective administrative service and in the implementation of development programs. Mr. Idris expressed appreciation for the strong participation the residents demonstrated during the process. He also called on the newly elected area administrators and managing directors to serve the people that elected them with dedication. Commending the residents for putting trust on them, the newly elected expressed readiness to diligently work to ensure that the people that elected them are provided with timely and efficient administrative services. Similarly, election of area administrators and managing directors was conducted in the 16th administrative areas of the Kamhara subzone. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the international news after the short break. Welcome back. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, warned on Tuesday that global economy is entering 2022 in a weaker position than previously expected, as it downgraded its global growth outlook, largely due to clouds gathering over the recoveries in the United States and China. The IMF's largest world economic outlook calls for the global growth to downshift from 5.9% in 2021 to 4.4% this year. The 2022 forecast is half a percentage point lower than the fund's October outlook and largely reflects forecast markdowns for the world's 2 largest economies. The fund saw the U.S. economy growing 4% this year. That was 1.2 percentage points lower than its October call and reflected the failure to pass President Joe Biden's Build Back Better spending plan, the Federal Reserve's unwinding of pandemic stimulus measures, and continuing supply shortages that are driving inflation. The IMF sees China's growing economy growing 4.8% this year, 0.8 percentage points lower than its October forecast, all to the country's business sapping, zero-tolerance COVID-19 policy, and ongoing stress in its heavily indebted property sector. U.S. Coast Guard officials are searching for 39 people who are feared missing after their ship reportedly capsized on Saturday night off the Florida coast. Officials were alerted after fishermen spotted a man clinging to the hull of a boat 45 miles from the city of Fort Pierce. The survivors said the group had embarked from Bimini, Bahamas, on Saturday night and hit foul weather. U.S. officials say the boat may have been part of a human smuggling venture. According to the survivor, who has not been identified, none of the passengers were wearing life vests. The search was being led by the Miami Coast Guard sector using ships and aircrafts. The island of Bimini is the westernmost district of the Bahamas and is only 80 miles from Miami. Officials are searching from Bimini to Fort Pierce. The Coast Guard has also reported that they had found 88 Haitians in an overloaded ship west of the Bahamas. Following is a recap of tonight's major headlines. UN delegation held meeting with senior government officials. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. IMF cuts global economic growth forecast. Dozens feared lost as smuggling boat capsizes off Florida. That's all from us for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.